pretty much we're here, our third reading in the book. Is our third reading in the book. And we've gone through the quote that pretty much runs through the whole chapter, which is about, sowing the right seeds so we can have the right harvest. We've spent our time pretty much on that first slide, the first 2 weeks. Let's move on and go here. And Shola Richards outlines 3 pillars of respect that must be practiced in a positive workplace. It says that if we're going to have a positive workplace, we need to have 3 things, 3 pillars. Which number one is that we should have respectful communication, right? Our communication must be respectful, and respect is mutual. It's front and back. I remember coming back in 2016, and and I said that so often, talking about the fact that I treasure respect. But what I found on ground where people who would want to disrespect you or are protective of their own respect. They expect you to respect them, but they couldn't be bothered about respecting you, and they were all about a win-lose, and obviously, like I said, that wasn't a good time. It was a harsh, vicious, toxic environment, a place of work. Thank God things are better today. But if you're going to work in a positive environment, you need to sow the seeds for these 3 pillars, which number one is respect for communication. Today we talk about psychological safety. We talk about ensuring psychological safety in the workplace. Psychological safety is just that environment where people are free to express themselves without fear of being retributed, without fear of being punished. Obviously, that expression needs to come from in a respectful way, but people being given the opportunity, the latitude to be themselves and to speak out, to contribute, without feeling the sense of being exposed or in danger of being looked down on, or shut down, so we'll call it psychological safety. And that's made a difference for us in the workplace, people, either to toxic people, since that directive is coming from above them, have had to rein in their demons, to be able to work together. But if you're going to have a positive environment, a place where people can have a good life in the workplace, it behoves that everyone seek to be respectful of one another. People are not carrying position on their shoulders or on their head. That helps. That helps. That helps. But it's not guaranteed in all circumstances. So one will have to talk about, where it is not guaranteed, how to still thrive in such an environment. But if possible, the other pillar that works for a positive environment is respect for the individual, which is pretty much close to the first one. The first one is that you can able to communicate. The second one is that everyone is respected for who they are. People are not trying to force feed you to be who you are not. We're all different. I love the personality. We at one point in time, we're having a lot of safety incidents, in the workplace, and we had to bring in a scheme whereby people are able to identify their personality, and that kind of helps, when you know who you are, your tendencies, your shortfalls, your demons, what makes you think, what fills your tank, what drains your tank, that has helped. That has helped in small measure, and for someone like me, that has helped a lot, because it's helped me to see that I'm not a strange human being, that God has people like me, as it were. And it's also helped me in knowing myself to then know how to carry myself. But it helps when you know yourself, then you're able to then understand the emotions, the feelings, the interactions that are taking place on the inside of you, why you react or seemingly feel the way you feel towards some people as against some people. Helps you know who you are. It helps you know whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, and just know your personality tendency. That helps. There's also respect for the team. So you see 3 words there, all talking about respect. Respect, respectful communication, respect for each individual, and respect for the team. So whatever I do, I know that I'm representing the team that I belong to, and I will not do anything to bring down the name or to disrepute the team or the department that I belong to. That helps, in engendering a positive work environment. And so Shola Richards finishes and says, everyone is important. You know, everyone is important. This typically is said by the company, but each of us needs to internalize this. That helps us to be able to have a good life in the workplace. That everyone that I see in the workplace is important, whether it be the cleaner, whether it be the servers in the kitchen, the cooks, security. Everyone is important. Everyone is important. Every human being is important. I cannot say that uh, long enough, as many times enough, but everyone is important. Everyone can have a meaningful impact. Everyone is important. Everyone can have a meaningful impact. That reminds me of the cleaner at NASA. And someone went to ask her, what is our objective? Why is she here? What is our goal? And she said, to get the man to the moon, right? She might not be the astronaut. She might not be those building the rocket. She might not be those doing all the calculations, but she knew that she mattered, and everything that she does helps to contribute to the final goal, final end of the organization. That's what each of us needs to see ourselves. And not just that, the way we see ourselves, the way we see our colleagues, that we are all important and we all carrying our own share of the weight to achieve the goal why all of us are there in the company, right? So no one is less important than the other. Everyone is important, and everyone then needs to be given their rightful due, right? Everyone can have a meaningful impact, and everyone deserves to be seen, heard, and valued. In short, everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone needs to be seen, heard, and valued. Everyone needs to be seen, heard, and valued. That's important. When we come into the workplace, we're going to have a positive work environment. We need to remember that everyone is important, including ourselves. Everyone can have a meaningful impact, right? Everyone deserves to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued. That's important. On Friday, I was just moving within the compound, and I stayed to talk to one of our contract people along with other people. And it was just running through my mind that I stayed back and focused on that person, right? That's important. That's important to treat people as individuals, right? As much as you're talking to everybody, you must recognize each individual. That's important to that person. That also makes you important. That also makes you the person or an individual. It fills your tank also. right? It shows you are someone with integrity. You're someone with character. You never know where you're going to harvest the seed that you sow. Again, don't forget the quote we're using to run through this chapter is judge each day not by the harvest you reap, but by the seed you plant, right? You seeds of connection, the seeds of relationship that you plant. You never know when you're going to reap it. If you make someone that cannot do anything to you today special, that person will hold will hold him or herself, in depth of you. And you never know when that person is going to pay you back where you need it, you know. But every day at work is an opportunity, a privilege to just show someone, let that person be seen, let that person be heard, let that person be valued. Because as much as you want to have a good life, you should then help other people to have a good life. The more people you help to have a good life in the workplace, the more opportunities you have to have a good life yourself, right? That's important.